Well, good evening, Black and Married with Kids. How are you this terrific Tuesday? I pray that you have had an awesome day, a wonderful day, a glorious day, because truly this is the day that we have never seen before, but it's the day that the Lord has made, and we are rejoicing because whatever is taking place in your life, in your relationships, and in your marriage, I promise you it's going to work together for your good. So just keep rejoicing, keep rejoicing, keep rejoicing. Well, I am Pastor D, Dunamis Devetta D. Collins from Dunamis Woman Enterprise, and I am the founder and the CEO where we guide, mentor, pray with women, coach women on how to experience the healing power of God for their life and for their relationships. You all, I am so empathic about life. I'm so empathic about relationships, particularly man and woman. And in this case, I am so empathic about marriages. I love it. And I know what it takes to be married. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of commitment. It takes a lot of faithfulness, not just to each other, but most of all, to yourself. So as a woman, I am here to uplift you. I am here to encourage you, and I am here to stand with you, and know that I am definitely here to pray with you that you and your marriage and your husband, that you all will have greater and greater and greater and greater success in every area of your life. I want to thank Lamar and Ronnie Tyler always for giving me this opportunity on this platform, because Black and Married with Kids is so important, you all. We are being hit in our families, and we're being hit spiritually in our relationships. Good evening, Cynthia, in so many areas. And it's the whole goal of the enemy is to see us destroyed. But we will not be destroyed. I want you all to know that. I want you to make that declaration in your life. We shall not be destroyed. We shall live and not die. I decree that and declare that over your life, your household, and your marriage, and everything that God has for you. Well, I'm going to talk tonight to be with you because you know what? I am very, very excited about what God is doing in your life. And all of you all who purchased the ebook from the Marriage Online Summit last Saturday, when I spoke about my fight for my husband, I want to thank you all for purchasing that ebook. And I pray that it immensely blessed you. But there's more and more, because Dunamis, you all, Dunamis belongs to Christ. Okay, it belongs to our Father. So it is not ours, it is His. But I want to affirm you that you are a Dunamis woman. You are a Dunamis woman. You got so much strength in you. You got so much power in you. You got so much force and vigilance in you that it performs miracles in your life each and every day. But the whole goal, like I said, of the enemy is to deplete you in your emotions, but it shall not take place, because I'm here to strengthen you. So tonight I want to talk about a woman is her husband's reward. Y'all like that? I love it. I love it. I'm going to get into it, but a woman is her husband's reward. Now, I didn't say a wife. Now, if you all have seen me before, you have heard me speak before, I make a clear distinction between the woman and the wife, yet they're all one and the same. But we have to know how to operate, and that woman is the one who became a wife. That wife is fulfilling that position, and she's fulfilling that occupancy of what God has assigned her and who He has assigned her to, as you stand true to your husband. However, that woman can easily get lost. That woman can easily get depleted. That woman can easily get drained. I know, been there, done that, got the t-shirt, the pants, the hat, all of that. However, I have understood what it is to be a Dunamis woman, that I walk in my emotional healing so that woman can stay strengthened to be effective in everything that she does. So I want you to understand you are that Dunamis woman. So I want you to know that you are your husband's reward. So that's why you have to understand who you are as a Dunamis woman. All right. So as I talk to you tonight, I want to use one of my favorite movies. I want to use one of my love The Lion King. Man, I know that's been around for a long time, but I believe that Disney movies, and I love them because they have so many messages in there that's about life and relationships, and particularly from a spiritual perspective, because I see life. I see life from a spiritual perspective. That's why I am a spiritual life and relationship coach. We are not wrestling against flesh and blood, but against principalities and spiritual wickedness in high places. And I love implementing spiritual principles in my life and I teach spiritual principles because that's what get the outcomes and the results from a spiritual perspective. So when I look at The Lion King, I can look at it over and over and over again because I get so much. But typically, when you hear people talking about The Lion King, a lot of it, they hinge upon Mufasa, the father, and Simba, the son, and naturally his kingdom, and how all of that was basically destroyed by the enemy because he wanted that position, which was his brother. So it's a whole lot that I could go into from a spiritual standpoint. But for tonight, I want to talk about Simba and Nala, okay? Because Nala, they were young, and they did not know all what they were walking into. However, Simba, as you all know, he ran off, and he was filled with a lot of guilt, and he had a lot of things in his heart because his father got killed, and the enemy, listen to my words, the enemy made him believe that it was his fault. Okay, so he was carrying guilt. He was carrying shame. Okay, how many of our black men, come on now, I'm just going to speak truth tonight, are carrying guilt and they're carrying shame and they're out of their position and they're not in the dominion of who God created them to be? So many of us have inherited a lot of things in our relationships that it's not our fault. It's not their fault. It's not anybody's fault. It's something that the enemy has done. And if I was to go into a teaching, I could support that from a biblical standpoint and a spiritual standpoint. But for the sake of this platform right now, I want you to know that Nala, she was out there, and y'all know when she was going out there and roaming and she ran into Simba, she did not know where he was, but the dominion of what he was supposed to have, that occupancy that they made live, he wasn't in his rightful place. So because he wasn't in his rightful place, they were dying. They were famished. They had so much that they was not able to live by because that wasn't their rightful place. That wasn't their rightful inheritance to be suffering like that. And you all, a lot of things that we are dealing with as a black people, as a black couple, you all, it's not our rightful inheritance. It's not our rightful responsibility to suffer and to be impoverished and to have so much lack in our life and in our marriages and our relationships. So when Nala was going on and she was, looking around, she ran into Simba. And you all, she began to speak to him. She began to speak and remind him of who he is and what he is supposed to be doing to save them and to have his rightful dominion. So for all of you all who came on, I'm going to just interject this. And I want to let you know that I am Pastor D, Dunamis D, and I am from Mighty Christian Women. You all joined the group there, Mighty Christian Women, but Dunamis Women Enterprise, where we are a company and organization, and I work with my daughter, Ariel, and my other daughter, Allison Fuller, but we actually pray, mentor, coach, and guide women into understanding their greatness and the power they possess, as well as experience the healing power of God. So tonight I'm here to take over Tuesday, and I want to thank Ronnie and Lamar again for the opportunity. But I was talking about a woman is her husband's reward. So as I'm mentioning Nala, because I'm talking about the movie Lion King, which is one of my favorites, I'm coming to encourage your heart to help you be strengthened as a woman. Okay, as a woman. So I want to give you 3 points tonight. Okay, I'm not going to keep you long. I'm going to give you 3 points based upon Simba and Nala. Okay, so if you've seen the movie, I want you to know when Simba was out of his place of dominion. Okay, he was out there wandering around and he was out of his place of dominion. And the first thing when Nala did, when she was speaking to him, she was restoring his heart. Okay, she could not restore his position. She restored his heart. Ladies, okay, so many of us are trying to do so many things for our husband based upon his position to try to restore that. That's not our responsibility. What is our responsibility as a woman, as a powerful woman, is to speak life to him, to restore his heart. Do you know? I don't know. I'm not a black man. I've been with many of them. I can tell you that much. You know what I'm saying? So I got some stripes on my back by hearing their heart. And even for what I do from a coaching couples and individuals, I've heard so much of how black men in their own way have told me they're carrying so much on their back. They're carrying so much on their shoulder, not because of you, but because of life. Because of how our society is coming and wants to destroy our black men, principalities, spiritual wickedness in high places wants to destroy them. So as a woman, you have an awesome responsibility, and you have that power and you have that strength to speak life to his heart. Restore his heart like Nala did. He was out there in the wilderness. He was out there running with the chickens. Simba was. He was out there with all of the creatures that he was not supposed to be hanging with. That may be some of the men in our lives, okay? But regardless of it, we need them in their place of dominion. So I want to encourage you. Allow God to minister to your heart that you may be able to speak life to your husband's heart, because you are his reward. Okay. Number 2, Simba had gave up on himself. He had gave up on himself. But Nala never gave up on him. Come on now. Because they had grew up together, because she knew who he was, because she knew he was Mufasa's son. Oh, I'm about to go in, y'all. She knew who he was. She believed in him. I don't care what you're facing. I don't care what your husband's doing. Look, I was married to a black man. I had a couple of black men. All I've been with is black men. Okay. Some of them I was legally married to, and some of them I was just sexually married to. Okay. So realistically, they can be obstinate. They can be prideful. Oh my God. They can be honorary, and it just seemed like you can't reach them. But regardless of what it looked like, regardless of what it seemed like, regardless of what's hitting them and what's facing them, believe in them. A man, a husband, he needs you to believe in him. So many forces is coming after him. So many forces want him out of his dominion, out of that household. So many forces want him out of his position as your husband. But I'm come to say, not so again. Believe in him. Ladies, that's why we need emotional healing. Because when they get hits, we get hits. When they get attacks, we get attacks. We in it together. And that's why we as a woman, a Dunamis woman who have so much power and so much strength that God gave us, we need to constantly come to him for an experience of his healing power. This is not a one-time quick fix, you all. This is a lifestyle, because the more you get healed, the more that he strengthens you. The more you get healed, the more your eyes can see truth, okay? So no matter what, believe in your husband. Believe in your husband, because you are his great reward. Number 3, before Simba, now this is what I love right here, y'all. So I'm going to try to stay a little dignified here. Woo, and listen to my words, okay? Woo. Okay. Before Simba encountered his father, remember, after he was with Nala, he ran off and he was going back, and the monkey hit him on his head, and he was like looking there, and he was like, know who you are. Okay, his father said, know who you are. But before that scene took place, before he had an encounter with his father, he had an experience with his woman. Come on now. Nala wasn't his wife as of yet, okay? He had an experience when everybody else was away, when nobody knew what was going on. Nala found a place in his heart. Come on now. Nala found a place to know how to lift him up. She knew how to speak those words. She knew how to challenge his mind. She knew how to challenge his heart. Okay, and because she believed in him, and that allowed him, Simba, to have an experience with his woman. Let me tell you all something. I know marriage can be a lot. I know it's a lot, especially when you're a mother and a wife. A mother and a wife? Oh my God. OMG. You can get boggled down with so much. You got so many responsibilities. Bills are hitting you. Work, laundry. It's so much stuff that's going on in your life. I don't even know. But I know you're a powerful woman. So I know it's a lot going on. But regardless of that, your husband, don't just give him no sex. Just don't turn over at night and just give him no tail. Give that man an experience. In bed, out of bed, around the bed. When you speak to his life, when you speak to his heart, when you speak to the very essence of his soul, do you know, and lift him up and build him up in spite of. Oh, come on now. That's when it's really experience, in spite of. Do you know God will give you more? He will give you more. He will give you more. He will give you more. Let me give you, y'all know I'm a wordsmith, and I love the word, not just the word of God. I do, but I love to take his word, and I love to dissect it word by word to get an in-depth meaning and understand what is he saying, because oftentimes we read it from a Webster dictionary understanding of what these terms mean. But I love to go back to the Hebrew, and I love to go back to the Greek, and I love to go back to the origin and allow God to reveal some things to me based upon what he's been saying. So the reward, according to the Hebrew, when he told Abram, he said, fear not, for I am your exceeding reward. He told him to fear not, okay? So that reward means I am your compensation. I am your contract. I have a covenant agreement with you, Abraham, and I am not going to leave you. So I am your compensation. Ladies, let me tell you something. You are his reward. God gave you to that husband as a woman. He assigned him in your life. And as you speak life, as you bring restoration to his heart, as you continue to believe in him, as you will give him an experience as a woman, let him experience the woman. Let him experience that dunamis woman. Put the va-va-voom on him. Go in like no other woman ever can try and attempt to go in, because you have that authority. And when you do that, do you all know your marriage, God will compensate you. He will bring things to your life that you never thought of. He will bring you a payment and a reward just for being who you are, not because of what you do. He is ready to reward, I believe with all my heart, a man and a woman, a wife and a husband and a wife, particularly in our black families, with a reward that will cause his glory to be revealed. This type of reward you can't work for. This type of reward you can't even go and get a loan for. This reward is because you understand who you are as a dunamis woman. You understand your greatness. You understand the power you possess. You understand that you got a great man. You understand that you got a great husband. You understand that you got the dunamis power that you possess, and you can utilize it for every aspect in your life. You all, I want you to join me. I am going to be having a prayer challenge. I know May 3rd coming up is the National Prayer Day, but anybody know me? I don't stick to tradition, because prayer is a lifestyle. I'm an honor National Prayer Day, but I'm taking the whole month of May for a prayer challenge. And who are we going to be praying for? We're going to learn the art and the skill. I'm going to be teaching on Mighty Christian Women on Thursdays, developing prayer warriors, understanding the skill and the art of prayer, understanding the true meaning of prayer, that we may channel it in the direction of where he wants us to go. Not he, your husband, he, our Lord, so we can see the manifestation of his glory. We can see the manifestation in our families. I don't need no manifestation first in the church, and I don't get no manifestation in my home. Hello? Okay, because what happens in my house is what we take to God's house. So that's why God's house is all jacked up, because we ain't got no movement in his house, in our own house. Okay, you have your own kingdom. You have your own dominion. Okay, so I want you to be encouraged. I want you to learn the art of prayer. I want you to know that you're a dunamis woman. I want you to birth that husband in his life and his dominion, and where let God blow his mind, because you are his great and exceeding reward. All right, ladies, I love you all. Thank you all for being here. Thank every last one of you all. Get connected to Mighty Christian Women Group, okay? Because we're doing some great things over there, because you are a Dunamis woman and you're going to be built up. You're going to be strengthened spiritually, that you may see miraculous power and healing in your home, in your family, in your marriage, and in your life, because every woman is a Dunamis woman and you got the power to give birth. Just as though you did naturally, you're gonna do it spiritually. All right, join the prayer challenge. I would love to engage with you during these days and during this month of May, that you may get ignited and fortified in your own personal time in prayer. Anyway, all right, love you. Have a great evening. Thank you all again, Lamar and Ronnie, for allowing me to be on Takeover Tuesday. You all have a blessed evening, and we'll see you next week. All right, more to come.